What's
How you
up,
doing?
Buckadio? How you doing,
Hey, how
buddy?
you doing, man? How you doing? I know who you are, obviously,
Yeah.
because we spoke a few days ago.
Yep.
But please introduce yourself and let everyone know where you're from. Your
Uh,
name and
my
where you're from.
my name's Jeremy West. My Instagram is under Heathen Jeeper. I'm an off-road guy.
And by the way, you have a fan by TJ Abels #3.
Yeah. It's
Shout out to her for sending the hearts to you. It looked like your late
um.
Valentine right there, or whatever you want to call it. Well,
Yeah.
continue.
Just like Shorty was saying, I've been through the same situations. I've been through you know, the um, the supervised visitations at a facility, and it's when it comes to family court, when lawyers are brought in and involved, all civility goes out the window. You become nothing but a paycheck. Now, I also deal with an extreme narcissist. I have a 14-year-old daughter and identical twin boys that are 8 with the same woman.
Twins.
And yeah,
Identical
yep.
twins, you said?
Yep. And, we were married 15 years. Now it's been 3 years since I've seen my daughter. Between my ex-wife and her family, they've kind of, to me, it feels like she's been brainwashed. Like, their dad is this evil person. I never did anything wrong to them. I'm not a troublemaker, and, I don't have any kind of record or anything like that. So, the family courts, they don't care about race or money, or, well, they do care about your money because that's the only thing that they're after. And it's a sad and hard situation, and us as men and fathers got to stick together, and we got to fight this. It starts at your local level, and we have to take it up to the state level and beyond all that. And it's as I spoke to Alan Donovan also, and he's told me about how this happens not just here in the States but worldwide.
Alan Donovan is the reason why this show exists. If he was on here, which he was before, I will personally let him know.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
because if Alan Donovan, and I would love to meet this guy someday, but I met him like what I'm doing now. But if Alan Donovan was here right now, I would personally tell him thank you, like I told him once again,
absolutely.
because when I was going through my situation in the beginning stages, I was hurt, and I was broken down, everything, and seeing what he was doing out in Montana on Instagram with Fathers Lives Matter, that gave me the ammunition. Of course, my son's mother gave me the ammunition, but he gave me the ammunition even more to reach out to people like you, to
Yep.
reach out to people like Shorty the comedian, and everyone else from the past shows that you've seen me do something like this and let the world know why fathers are important. And if you agree with what I'm saying, please comment, send any emoji as you want. But continue speaking.
Um, you know, it, Back to what I was saying with the court system. My first go around in court, I did not have an attorney present, and I kept requesting to them to reschedule it. All my requests were denied. I was waiting. I had to cash in on my retirement, and I had to borrow some money to hire an attorney. And it took time to get that money together, and I didn't have, you have 30 days or something like that from your first court notice. So that's a lot of paperwork processing and all that stuff to be able to get that money together. So the first go around in court set the tone for everything. She was a nasty, spiteful person. I gave her no reason to request supervised visitations, and that's what she asked for, and the judge granted it. Now he said, can this be done at your house? Can it be done at his parents' house? She turns around to the judge and says that my parents, my at the time 96-year-old grandmother, said that they were all untrustworthy, and the judge went on her word. My 96-year-old grandmother, really? You're going to say that she's untrustworthy and a bad person? And and like I said, they granted it. So
She targeting your grandmother.
yeah, they targeted my whole family, man. And it is It's ridiculous, you know, and this is the
Trust me
kind of,
when I tell you. Trust me when I personally tell you this. You're not the only one that's dealing with a child's mother that's targeting the father's family. Trust me when I tell you that.
yeah, it sucks, man.
From New York to Ohio.
You know, and it broke my mother's heart, you know, and for them, you know, and they went a long time too without seeing my kids. And in between all of this, the court, and before I was able to get time in this facility to see the kids, it was about 4.5 months that I didn't get to see my kids, you know, and I was asking all the time, when can I see my kids? When can I see my kids? And she wouldn't let me see them. You know, and now it's to the point where, like I said, my daughter doesn't speak to me. Now my twin boys, my boys are awesome. They know their dad loves them, and they know their dad's going to keep fighting for all three of them. It's not an easy battle, and you know, I've spoken to other guys that's dealt with the same thing. Even today, you know, speaking to another guy, I could tell, you know, I know how he was feeling, because I felt it. You feel it.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel it.
You know,
I don't want to feel it. You don't want to feel it. We all
hell
don't need to
no.
feel it. We all don't need to feel it, but we injusticely get in this nonsense.
And it is. That's the thing. It is nonsense, and it no longer becomes about the children. It's what the mothers want, and it's what the court system is going to push to do. I think a lot of these judges also need to be reminded that they are elected officials and they can be replaced.
Like I asked you, and it's good that you said that, because the last show, I had a gentleman, I had a gentleman on the show in California that was highly, highly, highly upset with. I think he said he's in San Diego.
I watched it.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yep. He had a pretty nice.
Oh yeah, you you knew where I was going with that. 'Cause very similar to yours.
Yeah.
I wish I had that. Mine doesn't grow like yours. It grows like right here. But that's another story. But he was talking last week about how the judge that he deals with doesn't even have experience with kids, nor does he even have a kid. The only kid he has is a dog.
Yes, and
that's you heard that.
I loved that point that he said that they should not be allowed to be a family court judge unless they have children.
Exactly.
These judges need to know what that feels like, and it's heartbreaking, it's humiliating, you know, and it pisses you off, and you know, you have to do the best that you can to try and stay positive. Now, I still have my days where I just get down and I fight back the tears, or I could flip a switch and just be pissed off at the world. But, you know, it takes me a little bit to bring myself back in, and, you know, I remember who I am, and, you know, I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm never going to stop. You know, until they put me in the dirt.
I don't want you to stop. The world don't want you to stop.
No, man.
And
I don't,
everyone on here right now, if you don't want this man to stop commenting right now, ask all of you right now to comment, never give up. I ask everyone on here right now to never give up. And like I told Shorty, the comedian, one day your kids are gonna know this, understand this whole situation, because I pray your kids don't go through this. I pray my son, my innocent son, who's always happy.
Yeah.
My son right here.
Man, that's the best time too, man.
I pray he doesn't go through what I'm going through.
I hope he never does.
Yes, because one day your kids are gonna look at the whole situation like, man, daddy never gave up. I got a father in my life. Some of my friends that I hang out with, they don't have a dad in their life. Their dad died. This one don't have a dad because he don't want to be in it. But my dad never gave up. And you should never give up.
I keep telling my boys, you know, I just because they're persistent and they're very ornery, and I keep telling them, I'm like, you need to start telling your mom, you know, you want to see dad, you want to spend more time with dad. You know, right now our big thing is we go fishing, and you know, anything outdoors, they're all about it. between getting outside with their RC trucks or their Nerf guns or us going fishing, you know, and it doesn't matter. It's because we're spending time together, you know, and being together is what needs to happen. And it's, you know, it should be 50-50. No matter what. I mean, you know, she's just as much as responsible as making these children as I am. And it needs to be 50-50 regardless.
And
you know,
one day it's gonna come to a point where, because I'm building a movement, because like I said, I'm 34 years old. There are people that are out there that are older than me and that are going through, obviously my age but must be young compared to you because you're smiling.
yeah, you're a little younger than me.
But I'm 34 years old, and I feel personally that, like you said, it should be 50-50. What I went through with my son's mother, I never cursed on here, but I'm going to say it straight up. It was straight up bullshit.
Yep.
And it should not have happened to me. It should not have happened to anybody.
No, it shouldn't.
Who's a father. And I feel from as soon as the child is born, boy or girl, it should be 50-50. Especially, and I mean especially, if the father is fit. If the father is fit on wanting to be a father, if the father is fit on wanting to be in the child life. Now, there's a difference. If the father is unfit, then that's something different. But if the father is fit to be in the child life, then why not have 50-50?
Yeah.
One day it's going to come to a point where my goal is to one day be on the news to a point where I speak to legislation and try and have a debate with legislation or whomever, to the point where I can try and get the United States or wherever to get this whole thing for fathers to be 50-50.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a comment on here. This is awesome. Because the family court system makes billions a year, they don't want equal parenting. Now, he's pretty damn accurate on that. And I saw a thing a while back, a few weeks ago. Texas is one of the worst states in the nation for child support. And now this is the amount of money that the state makes off of our backs. I think Texas was around like $35 million a year. The state, not the mothers, the state makes. California and New York were tied for second, and Ohio was at third. And my state brings in between $23 and $25 million a year. You know, where does that money go? That's what I want to know. Where does that money go?
Yeah.
I think, you know, the whole child support thing definitely needs changed. You know, I'm all about, I always see the memes about saying, where's, you know, make the baby mothers show receipts for the child support. Man, I'm 100% on board with that. And what money that they do not use.
I agree with you.
What money that's not used should go in a bank account for the kids. That's not her money. You know, you're not paying. Child support's not alimony. Child support is not for her to go and buy. She went and bought a brand new car, you know, a couple months ago. It's like things like in 2019 or something.
Get her nails done, any of that. Child support is supposed to be for that child, and that's it.
Yes.
If you're giving your money for the child, why in the world are you seeing her with her hair done, with a new outfit, or anything?
Now,
a new car, like what you said.
I will say though that my kids, they always have, you know, they always have nice clothes, they always have nice shoes. So I do know that. I'm sorry
to cut you off. I see some new people that are on here right now. Can you please let everybody know your name and where you're from?
My name is Jeremy West, and I live in Northeast Ohio. I'm about 30 minutes from Akron. You know, and they hate fathers just as much as every other state here. You know, we're the enemy to them.
That's right. And I'm from Long Island, New York. My name is Arcadio Santana. This is Fathers Are Important. And though I'm from New York, but this page is not just for people that's in New York. I'm creating a movement, and this page is for everyone all over the world. So, Jeremy, please continue. As a matter of fact, I only have 5 minutes left to let you continue. and Instagram's gonna cut me off because
Yeah.
they only give me 1 hour to talk.
You
And
know, I appreciated speaking to you the other night, and this here too. You know, and I don't want to take all your time, so you can continue, but I
no,
will say,
you're more than welcome. I'm not stopping you to talk. You're more than welcome to continue because I just want to end this right now, end this live right now to have more time. And everybody that's
yeah,
watching me right now, I want to welcome everybody to continue to follow, to continue to come back on the live and let Jeremy or Wayne Clark, who is next, finish talking. But
I
continue because I know
I
you want to
will
finish.
say, I will say, yes, she does have residential rights, and I don't mind paying, for my kids, but they also need to leave stuff for us to survive on. I've had paychecks, 2 week paychecks as little as $60. I have vehicle payments, cell phone, and I got to put food in the refrigerator. How are you supposed to do that on $60? Now I'm thankful. Now I'm back up, and I have a decent paying job, and I work hard
Justice
at it.
for JC. I'm sorry. Justice for JC. I'm gonna post this entire thing as soon as this live is finished. It's gonna be posted. So I know you mentioned that when Shorty was talking, but
Okay.
it would not be erased. Don't worry. But
Um,
continue.
and that's another thing that's wrong with the system too is right off the get go, there are guys in debt thousands of dollars from the first time the judge swings his little hammer. Um, I was instantly put $5,000 in the hole. And I didn't have a pot to piss in, and if it wasn't for my mother and my grandmother, I would have been homeless. And they gave me a place to stay. When I was staying with them and going through all this stuff, because I did not have my own place with a 3 bedroom, a bedroom for myself, the boys their own room, my daughter her own room, because I didn't have any of that, I wasn't even given fair parenting time. The standard for Ohio is every Wednesday, and then you have them every other weekend. I didn't even get that. So I get to see my kids every Wednesday. Well, my boys. I see my boys usually every Wednesday, and for a while I was getting them 4 or 5 hours. Now she's being shitty again, and I'm if I'm lucky, I get to see them 2 hours. On my weekends, I have them one day, on a Saturday for 8 hours, and then the following weekend I will have them on a Sunday. So it's a rotating day
I
on the
want to ask you
weekend.
this question because I'm about to get cut off. Wayne Clark, if you're still on, you're next. Jeremy, my question to you is: if you were to talk to your kid's mother, if you was to talk to your kid's mother, what would if you was to talk to your kid's mother and get her to understand why fathers are important? What would your civil message be to her if she was watching right now?
Um, you know, just let me be their dad. That's all I want. That's all I want to do is be a part of their life and watch them grow up and help them grow up. Teach them the things that they're not going to learn in school. That kind of thing. That's all I want. That's all you want. I mean, that's all we want. We just want to see our kids. We want to be a part of their life. Why is
Absolutely.
that? Why is that so difficult for these narcissistic women to understand that? I don't know. I would also like to say, if there's any other fathers on here watching, man, if you ever need anybody to talk to, feel free to reach out. I will talk to anybody and everybody. I know how it hurts, and we just all got to know that we're here for each other, and I'll always be in here, even if I can't give you the greatest advice. If you just need someone to
I
vent to,
literally, I hate to
I
be
know.
a jerk and cut you off, but I have 9 seconds to talk. This is Fathers Are Important, and we'll be right back. You more than